In this video, we're going to cover the 3 psychological factors that determine how likable you are. Get these down and you don't have to worry about these manipulative tactics in order to get people to like you. Instead, people will just like you for you. Hey, it's Seb. I am a former social anxiety disorder sufferer and I struggled massively with being liked and not being liked. I've been popular and I've been hated and anything in between. And it really contributed to my social anxiety. Now, when I was hated, I hated the other people as well. I was very judgmental and critical and also defensive and mean. And my general assumption was people don't like me. When I was popular, I really worried about losing that popularity and ending up with people not liking me. I felt that reputation that I had built was very fragile and it could soon end. I could do something that could mess it up and then I would lose my reputation and it would be really bad. Can you relate to this? Leave it in the comments. Now I needed other people to like me so I could feel good about myself. And if they didn't, or if they did and then stopped liking me, it would make me cringe. I had a very strong reaction to it. I'd feel hurt and shame, and that feeling would be very difficult to shake. It would stay with me for a long time. Now, part of the problem was that deep down, I didn't like myself, and I was needy or even desperate for the approval of others. And this is what then in turn made me feel very insecure and anxious, and it made me judgmental and defensive. And that attitude that I showed up with made it a lot more difficult for people to like me. Now, I've since done a ton of tapping and got help from some brilliant therapists and managed to get to the place where I actually like myself and deep down. And I no longer have that concern, oh, are they gonna like me? I'm not desperate for that approval anymore. Still want to be approved of, but it doesn't worry me. I don't alter my behavior in order to please someone. I'm just showing up as me and I'm assuming that other people are gonna like me because I believe I'm likable. And in this process from going from deep insecurity, not liking myself, not liking others, to this place, I discovered 3 psychological factors that determine your likability. And I say determine your likability not by tricks or manipulation of the outside world through altering your behavior. No, actually, automatically, naturally. And you can get to that place by shifting your psychology on the inside. Let's look at the 3 factors that influence your likability. 1, your attitude towards yourself. 2, your attitude towards others. And 3, your intention. 1, your attitude towards yourself is about your self-perception. Is that positive or is that negative? Do you respect and accept yourself? Do you feel good about yourself? Are you okay with you? Now we can simplify this by saying, I like myself. Now, it's very important to like yourself because if you don't like yourself, how can you expect other people to like you? Right? It makes it less likely for that to happen. You'll be less confident, you have a less attractive vibe. Now, that doesn't mean that if you don't like yourself, that other people cannot like you. Of course, some people will still like you. However, this is about optimizing your likability. And when you like yourself more, it is easier for other people to like you too. Now, often with my clients, I have them say out loud, I like myself. And that is to test to see if they do. So just say out loud, I like myself. And now check to see, does that feel true or does that feel false? Say your name out loud. So in my case, my name is Sebastiaan. That feels totally true. Then when I say, I like myself, do you sense the same conviction when you say that? If not, that's a tapping target to focus on. Next, say, I don't like myself. All right? How does that feel? Does that feel true to you? Because if that feels true to you, then that's a tapping target. Now, if I like myself felt true and I don't like myself didn't feel true, then I want you to think about a couple of situations in which you feel social anxiety or in situations where you're not liked. And then repeat the exercise and see if something comes up. Likely because a lot of people don't like themselves when they're feeling anxious, well, that is then your tapping target. And when I say that's your tapping target, I mean you can tap on the feelings that it provokes inside of you. So if I say I don't like myself, and as a result, I'm feeling hatred towards myself, or I feel ashamed of myself, now you have an emotion to focus on and apply the tapping. Or if thoughts come up like I don't like myself, then you can simply tap on that particular thought and notice what happens. Now there can be a lot more to it to resolve this, but I'm just giving you a little tip. All right, moving on. 2, your attitude towards others consists of your beliefs and feelings about others. Now your beliefs might be judgments about their character, assumptions about their motivations, or expectations about their behavior. And these beliefs make up your perception of others. And this perception has been formed as a result of social conditioning, cultural programming, trauma, personal experiences, and so on. And it is just a perception. It is something that can absolutely be altered. Now, my perception of other people used to be that they're very mean, judgmental, and out to get me. And as a result, people were seen as a threat. And I felt very on guard and defensive and anxious. And further, I was very selfish. I didn't care about other people's feelings, and I really didn't respect people. Also because I didn't respect myself. Now, this vibe was quite unattractive, and it made it a lot harder for people to actually like me. And as a result of that, I experienced a lot of subtle and very obvious rejection. Now, I've done a ton of tapping and inner work on this, and nowadays, for the majority of the time, I actually like people. You know, I'm in a good mood, I like being around others, but still I have my moments where I'm stressed, or sometimes I get triggered by something, and then I get into my I don't give up about anyone mode. And when that mode actually gets activated, it's not good. You know, I have this mean look on my face, you know, I'm pissed off on the inside, and I'm impatient, and I'm sometimes rude, and it's just not a good place to be, and it is not a good place to be around me. And as a result, my vibe is very unattractive, and it leads to rejection. Now, I try to control it as best as I can, of course, but it's very challenging, because when I feel that way on the inside, it's very difficult to not behave in that particular way. Whereas on the other side, when I'm in my natural good mood, I'm smiling, I'm friendly, I'm patient, I give approval, I'm nice, you know, I like being around people. And that mode is very attractive, and it leads to acceptance. Liking other people makes me more likable. And the smiling and the laughing and the talking to people and the giving approval and the being friendly and so on and so forth, that is all automatically. That is happening naturally. It's not that I'm thinking of, oh, let me now do this strategy of giving approval. Now let me ask these questions, or now let me use the name, or now, you know, this is not a chess match. You know, I'm in a social situation and I like myself and I like this person and we're having a good vibe, and this is just happening automatically. It's all the result of what is happening inside. You know, can you see the huge difference in likability between I don't like myself and I don't like others to I like myself and I like others in terms of your vibe and your likability? Now, you can repeat the exercise that we did earlier, but this time exchange it with I like others, you know, or I don't like others, or pick specific scenarios in which you get triggered and do the same. This will give you great tapping opportunities. Now, the last main psychological factor that makes an impact on how likable you are is number 3, your intention. Now, here are some of the intentions I used to have in social situations. To be the best, to be liked, or even worse, to be the most liked, to not look bad and make myself look good, to avoid embarrassing myself or blush, to not get anxious, etc. And these thoughts came with certain thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. I have to be the best, feeling of inferiority, behaviors like competing with others, power struggles, trying to prove myself. The thought everyone must like me goes with insecurity and seeking approval. I have to make a great impression, which comes with pressure, rigid in my behavior, Seriousness, trying to be perfect. I have to avoid certain topics, which comes with caution, and avoiding personal topics that reveal things about myself. I have to be careful, which goes with anxiety and holding back what I have to say, behaving in cautious ways and seriousness. Now, can you see how these intentions made me a lot less likable? Now, after releasing these intentions with tapping, my intentions are now very different. Now when I go into a social situation, my intention is to connect, to accept this other person, be curious, and just have a good time. Now, this depends on the person and the situation and the day, I guess. But think about what this intention brings about. It's causing me to feel calm and at ease, and to ask questions, and to give approval and give respect and be compassionate with the other person and smile and make jokes and share stories. Can you see how this is far more attractive of a behavior? And it all happens on autopilot. It's effortless. While you can definitely deliberately set a particular intention, and that can sometimes be helpful, you can get to the place where that's actually not necessary. Personally, I'm not sitting at home thinking about this upcoming social situation, what intention am I going to have? Or when I walk into a social situation, I'm not going to think like, oh, well, my intention is to connect, and possible but not necessary. It's now just naturally, that positive intention is just automatically there. And it's not something that I've conditioned myself to be able to do. Rather, I've deconditioned myself to return to my natural state, where that is an automatic way of being with other people. If you look at little kids, they're genuinely curious. They effortlessly connect with other people. That is your nature, and that's what you can return to. My aim for social situations is to actually be attached to absolutely nothing, no outcome whatsoever, because that allows me to be open to anything and to just be free in the moment, to just be myself and be genuine, say what comes to mind, and all of that stuff. Now, how to get there is maybe a topic for another video, so subscribe, click the bell, and once I release it, you'll be notified. Now, there's a ton of questions you can ask yourself to uncover your intentions, but here are 3 of them. 1, how should I come across? 2, what shouldn't they think of me? 3, what must the outcome of this social situation be? Now, any answers you come up with will show your belief system and your emotional attachments, and these contribute massively to your intention. Now, by breaking down these emotional attachments and the beliefs with tapping, you're actually weakening and eventually releasing these unhelpful intentions, which lead to you being a lot more at ease, a lot more relaxed and easygoing, and you'll have a naturally more positive intent, which then results in you automatically being more likable. So to be liked automatically, you want to like yourself, like others, and have a positive intent. Now, how do you do that? Well, this journey to get to liking yourself and being socially at ease is all about using the best of traditional psychology with E.F.T tapping. That combination allows for profound, rapid change that doesn't require forcing yourself into painful, awkward situations. It doesn't mean that you're gonna hide in your room and you're just gonna do this tapping. You're gonna keep living your life, but you're gonna use the tapping in order to shift things internally, predominantly from the comfort of your own home. And you're then going to see the results of these inner changes reflected in the outside world. And when I'm talking about inner changes, I'm referring to using E.F.T to remove the obstacles to liking yourself, to feeling good about yourself, to truly liking you and others. Because that inner change makes you likable naturally. Now, I teach how to go from social anxiety to effortless social ease in my free course called The 7 Secrets to Social Confidence. You can get it by going to bit.ly/social confidence now. That's bit.ly/social confidence now. Now, it actually does require time, effort, energy, and a whole bunch of tapping in order to get to this place that I'm describing. But it's not hard. You can do this from your home. And the inner changes that you're making affect everything When you like and accept yourself and you're good with yourself, and you have a positive attitude towards others, that's going to affect your career. That affects the people that you choose to surround yourself with. That affects how happy you feel on a day-to-day basis. And you take that likability and that social ease with you in all social situations for the rest of your life.